Today on the Social Investing Network, is the Elon Musk Twitter deal on life support? The world's richest man is saying the deal is on hold and tweeting poop emojis. And now Snoop Dogg says maybe he should buy Twitter? What? Plus, Dwyane Wade and Budweiser team up for a new NFT. We've got the latest on the project and where this lands on Budweiser's roadmap of the Budverse.
And we've got the co-founder of the GoodDollar protocol on to talk about how the blockchain is helping with universal basic income. It's Tuesday, May 17th, and we are ready to roll. Subscribe below, hit the notification bell. Now let's get into it.
All right, looks like Elon Musk is having a bit of buyer's remorse. On Friday, he tweeted this. He tweeted that the deal was temporarily on hold pending details supporting calculation that spam or fake accounts do indeed represent less than 5% of the users. Now, on Monday, Twitter's current CEO, Parag, tweeted him back saying that they couldn't verify all the fake users. And Elon Musk, as you can see right there, hit him with the poop emoji. Well, can you believe this, man? Now, just to add some more stuff to the drama, Delano, Snoop Dogg got involved. Snoop Dogg came in here saying that maybe he should buy Twitter. And he'll put his people in charge, the corner fish fry or Tommy Chung on the board of directors. And Elon Musk hit him with the fire emoji. So it's chaos, man. Like this all started off with drama. There's still more drama involved. Now, to get a little bit more serious, to me, this just seems like a classic case of buyer's remorse. When Elon Musk made the offer to buy Twitter on April 14th, a little bit more than a month ago, for $54.20, since then, the market has tanked. I mean, just take a look at the Twitter stock right now. The stock is trading much lower than it was. I mean, there's a great chart right there. Wow. The stock is trading much lower than when he had made his offer. And the market in general is down. And to me, this is just Elon knowing that he overvalued Twitter. And I think he's trying to find an excuse to get out of the deal. Now, remember, there is a $1 billion breakup fee that the both sides agreed to. So if Elon does back out of the deal, he would have to pay a $1 billion breakup fee. But I think he's trying to find some legal loophole here, saying that he thought that he was expecting, so many users, but now he has a bunch of bots. So I think he's trying to get out of this deal without paying the $1 billion breakup fee. What do you make of all this, man?
Zaya, and this is an incredible drama. It's incredibly interesting. So I agree with you. I think that Elon is trying to get out of the current term sheets valuation. That is clear. But he's doing something that's kind of hurting himself. He's trying to devalue the platform in the public, saying they can't verify the amount of bots on the platform. But he's making the platform more valuable because it has so much drama and happening on the timeline. We have Snoop Dogg chiming in. We have Elon Musk and Snoop Dogg. Maybe they collaborated, buy this thing together. Who knows? But in all seriousness, he is really trying to be a tough negotiator here. I think he's trying to look for ways to get out of that $44 billion valuation by showing reasons why the valuation should be less. And he has to do that by showing, hey, this is not what I thought I was, buying. And so that's the crux of this. I do think that although the deal is less likely to go through now, that I do think he's still trying to do it. I think he sees the platform as valuable in some sense. He just doesn't see it at the valuation that he proposed to buy Twitter at, and he wants to lower that a little bit, and then potentially make some changes, and then sell it back to the secondary market via the IPO, and that's what I think he's trying to do. But we'll see how this drama unfolds because it's quite interesting.
And there's a few more factors at play, right? So, like you said, this is a bad look for Elon. I think this is a bad look for Elon because when he first bought Twitter, when the whole hype was happening around this, he was making it clear like, oh, this is not for financial gains. Twitter is beyond more than just that. Now, obviously, money's getting involved, and like, oh, all of a sudden, finances are a huge part of this. And then this guy uses Twitter all the time. He's one of the most followed people on Twitter. You're telling me that he didn't know that like Twitter is full of bots? I mean, come on. So I think this is a really bad look. I think he's just trying to get out of this deal and still maintain his street cred, because I think it would be damaged a little bit if he just backs out of the deal saying, yeah, I paid way too much money for it. Here's the $1 billion breakup fee. I don't want it anymore. So I think he's trying to salvage this deal, still walk away with a decent value, because he's not going to pay the $44 billion. At least that's my prediction. Obviously, no one has a crystal ball. Yeah. In fact, the Twitter board is actually pushing back against this. Now, the Twitter board put out a statement this morning saying they are committed to this deal at a $54.20 per share. So They want to move forward with it, obviously, because it's worth way less now. So we'll see what happens. I don't think that we've heard the last of this. We're going to hear a lot more stuff.
We are definitely gonna hear a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're gonna pivot here a little bit to talk about crypto and universal basic income. Today, we have the director of growth at eToro, one of the co-founders of the GoodDollar protocol, an eToro affiliate, which is a protocol attempting to bring universal basic income to those in need by using the blockchain. Now, I have a lot of questions about this. I know our guests can help answer those. So please welcome Anna Stone to the show. Anna, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, Zaid. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about universal basic income. I feel like this was a hot topic for a few years. It's still a very polarizing concept, but just to get people informed, can you tell people that are not familiar with universal basic income and what it is and why you think it's needed?
Sure. So first and foremost, universal basic income is a political concept or philosophy actually behind giving people enough income irregardless of their status of work or who they are, right? So this is a concept that anyone just by nature of being a human being alive in this world deserves to have some baseline funds to stand on and to have as their baseline economic security. I believe in the United States, the concept of UBI really became popular in 2020 with Andrew Yang popularized this concept of $1,000 a month for each American. But there's many, UBI is a long-standing idea that's been around since, for thousands and thousands of years. There's been many pilots done in rich countries and poor countries and different populations. And at the end of the day, all of the studies and pilots tend to point to the same result, which is that when you reduce the financial insecurity of people worrying about having basic money for food or for healthcare, they have better outcomes, right? They lead happier lives. They have better health outcomes. They tend to pursue education or their entrepreneurial dreams, what the case may be. And UBI is as much a philosophy around the type of society or economy we want to create as it is a practical program.
Yeah, that's a very good explanation. So how does UBI work under the GoodDollar protocol? And why do you think that this is a solution to implement UBI?
Sure. So I think to create a good foil for this is actually to think of some of the challenges that would happen in terms of a government issued UBI, right? And we won't spend our interview today talking about the challenges with government in approving new policy, let alone policy that's focused on innovation, money, technology. But the idea behind GoodDollar or any sort of crypto UBI is actually how can we take advantage of the trends in technology, which is that every single person has a cell phone, even though many of the billions of people that have smartphones or cell phones are still what we would consider to be unbanked or underbanked, right? So those terms refer to people who are not served by traditional financial services, credit, savings, credit cards, access to mortgages, etc., right? So even though we know that there are, I think the numbers are over 4 billion people in the world have smartphones or cell phones, there's a big intersection between people who have smartphones and cell phones, but yet are still served by traditional financial services. And so the idea behind crypto UBI is actually how can we take advantage of the fact that people have these amazing devices in their pockets, right? They have the cell phones in their pockets, and that in the crypto world, when the Web3 world, that in and of itself gives you the technology that you need to have a blockchain wallet, to have a true on-chain wallet. And so if you have a cell phone, you can have your own crypto wallet, right? And therefore that means you have the ability to receive some sort of crypto UBI, right? So that's the philosophy behind it, which is actually how can we connect the dots between the fact that most people who are unbanked or underbanked have smartphones, If you have a smartphone, that means that you have access to create an on-chain blockchain wallet. Right. In fact, it's your right to create one of those wallets, right? And now with this technology, we're able to, through that infrastructure, this means that now actually delivering a universal basic income system at scale is possible and feasible.
Right. So obviously, so you're right. Everyone has a smartphone in the world. So what are some barriers that we have to lower to get people onto crypto? Because a lot of people that I know, because my parents are from Pakistan, I just go, and whenever I go there or talk to people there, they have like, whether it's a local bank or whatever app on their phone that you transfer money using that. What do we need to do to get those people, the same people, to then adopt crypto and be okay and comfortable with accepting crypto as a payment? Is it just a matter of there's just not a good infrastructure or any good use case for it right now for them? Like, how do we get those people to adopt crypto?
So, I mean, I think your parents are a great example, which is that if your parents were now to want to get into crypto, they actually will have to go through, I wouldn't say a difficult process, but certainly not a simple process of actually finding a local exchange, going through a traditional KYC AML process. And most importantly, they need to have an amount of funds that they are willing to lose to begin to experiment and to learn with. And actually, GoodDollar is designed to bridge that gap between the people who are most in need of the financial innovation offered by blockchain and the fact that it's hard, scary to onboard into crypto. And you don't know, and most people who are most in need of the technology don't have hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that they can just begin to experiment away with. So the whole idea behind the GoodDollar protocol is first and foremost, how do we make it super simple for you to onboard, right? So how can we make it so that anyone who has a Facebook account or a Google account is able to really easily create a blockchain wallet? That's the first step. The second step there is how can using that mechanism to actually begin to airdrop money into those wallets every single day. Yes. And we can talk about the economic model that funds that. But third of all, then you end up with a situation where people who are most in need of the power of blockchain technology actually have real free crypto in an on-chain wallet that they can begin to use to experiment with and learn how to use crypto, right? Mm-hmm. And so in and of itself, GoodDollar is not just a UBI approach, but it's also, it's a financial education protocol as well, which is designed to enable any person to be able to learn by doing and be able to have crypto, send it, use it for crowdfunding, use it to begin to experiment in DeFi. We have all sorts of people who are raising money for good causes in GoodDollars. And, if you want to bring people into this, you need to actually reduce the barriers to entry and the expenses of learning.
I 100% agree, right? Reducing the barriers to entry, because even right now, crypto is great. I've been involved with it for a few years now, but it still feels somewhat very technical and nerdy and like scary, because you're just so worried that you're going to make a mistake and lose all your funds and stuff. So I think this is a good approach to getting more people educated, and doing it this way is good. I guess I'll wrap up with this. I think you touched on this briefly earlier, but can you tell us like why this is a better implementation solution of UBI versus a government implementation solution of UBI? Because right now that's how it's traditionally been done, right? Whether it's a city, local government, or national government. Why is this better?
So I think first and foremost, this is something that live exists. It's a protocol that is delivering real money to hundreds of thousands of people a day that actually exists, right? It's not an idea, it's not a concept. Because of technology and the ability to do things in a decentralized manner, or able to actually push something into existence that live is working. And that's the first thing, is that we don't have to wait. I think second of all, what's really important is that GoodDollar is inherently global, right? So we're focused off of actually connecting the world through one common system. And it's also designed to be governed by its members. So if you're a community member to GoodDollar, if you're claiming GoodDollar UBI, that means that we want you to have a right in its future and what happens with the future of the currency. This is referred to often in Web3 as decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, right? These different groups of governing bodies that actually come together to determine what should the future of our currency ecosystem be, right? For a system like GoodDollar, we believe that fundamentally it should be community driven and community run and community powered, and not in the hands of a private company. So there are also a number of there are other experiments out there. WorldCoin is one of them that's gotten a lot of attention, which is, a private enterprise that's funding UBI. But at its heart, we think that this is a social impact or a mission-driven activity, and it shouldn't be in the hands of a private company that's looking to extract profits from this effort, but rather should be community-led, community-governed, and community-owned.
I love that. I love that. Are you nervous at all with like some of the DeFi scares that we've gotten recently, that maybe people would be hesitant to do this, or even people that need this, they're just nervous because of all the bad press that DeFi has gotten lately?
So I think the longer you've been working in DeFi, the less, I'd say the least shaken you are by the recent collapse in the market and collapse of some projects. That's the first thing I would say. Second of all, I would say that this will probably usher in a much needed conversation around how do we make DeFi as an industry more financially sustainable. And this is a conversation, a reckoning that needs to happen in order for DeFi to actually serve more people, right? Which is that, and I think about this a lot, which is because GoodDollar is actually designed in antithesis to the rest of the DeFi industry, the DeFi market. We're the anti-pump and dump. It's the anti-crazy APY. It's actually based off of how do you build a sustainable system that delivers money to people that they're able to use in order for people to trust that the money is something that they can use. No one wants to be the guy with the Bitcoin and the 10,000 pizzas, right? Which means that you need to develop an economy that's designed to create circulation, designed to create commerce amongst its members, while also, let's say, creating that financial incentive that everyone loves about crypto, which is making money, right?
Yep.
But to do it, excuse me, within a more responsible, sustainable context. And so every bear market, every shakeout is good for builders, and it's for a reason, because it allows for you that opportunity to look at what you're doing, really assess, is this solving a problem?
Yep.
And if so, double down on the problem that you're solving.
Absolutely. And GoodDollar is solving a very, very important problem. So I love to see it. I highly recommend everybody check out their website. Anna, where else can people find you if they're interested in learning more?
Sure. So you can find me on Twitter. I see my handle down there. Feel free to DM me and reach out if you're interested in learning more about the project or knowing how you can support the effort. And of course, you can learn more on our website. And we're open for collaboration with everyone and looking for more. This is a 30-year journey, which will require billions of people. So what better time to start than today?
100% agreed. Well, thank you so much for being on the show and talking to us about this project.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
But now it's time to tee up today's Fresh Mints. It was a really insightful interview with Anna. But let's move on to Fresh Mints today. So Dwyane Wade and Budweiser Zero joined forces to launch an NFT collection. So this is Budweiser's next step in the Budverse roadmap. And later this month, Budweiser Zero will be dropping a new NFT collection titled Budverse Legend Dwyane Wade times Budweiser Zero Edition. So there's a couple of tiers. The core NFT is where holders can claim a core Dwyane Wade decentralized jersey. Then you have the next tier, which is the hero NFT, and it becomes a little bit more exclusive at this level. You have 99 hero holders earning the limited edition Budweiser 0 times Dwyane Wade can. And lastly, the legendary NFT can only be held by one person who will claim a lifetime in real life experience with the man himself, Dwyane Wade. So my thoughts on this date, it was an interesting collaboration. I didn't see the pairing, it was kind of an odd couple, if you will.
Yeah.
But it makes sense what they're trying to do. And I like the fact that the net profits will be donated to create a grant program for minority-owned businesses. And that last tier is actually really more exciting to me. Like, you get a chance to maybe pitch Dwyane Wade on a business idea. You know he's investing. He's invested in a couple sports teams. So interesting collaboration. Really cool to see what they're doing with the profits. What are your thoughts on it, Zaid?
The only thing I like about this project is the fact that all net profits are being donated. That's the only thing I like about this. I mean, to me, this is a classic case of corporations hopping onto a new trend to get all the buzz and act hip and cool. And I don't even think that I don't know, like you guys, like I said on the show before, like my relationship with NFTs is up and down. I like some implementations of it. We talked about the chain smokers yesterday, so go check out that video. I think that was a good implementation of it. Yep. This I'm not really digging as much. It's just it seems to be like just a giant advertising method for Budweiser, and I just don't think that it provides that much value to its holders. But again, it's for a good cause. Dwyane Wade is involved. I'm a big fan of Dwyane Wade. I was a big fan when he was a basketball player, and he seems to be pivoting very well as a businessman. But I think beyond that, I don't really have any. Like, I wouldn't buy this. Like I don't. I guess the Dwyane Wade fans and Budweiser fans are gonna buy this. I mean, the metaverse for Budweiser. Like I don't. Like who wants to? What? Who's gonna do that?
That is fun. That is a great. Like that's a good point. Like it is a marketplace. It just seems like it's not the best attempt, as you mentioned, and maybe there's only the utility for me is in that one last special exclusive holder. But yeah, I mean everyone's taking their shot, and this one seems to be a more interesting shot, and we'll see. But like you said, it just the utility just isn't there for me personally in this one.
Correct, there isn't. Apparently, there's going to be horses in the Budverse. They're partnering with another. There we go.
There we go.
Like again, to me, this just seems a little cheesy. And just corporations just trying to get their name in the headlines. I mean, that looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
That does look cool. Kentucky
but still, not for me. But we're gonna have this inevitably, right? We're gonna have corporations jump into this to profit off the hype, and so we just got to be okay with that. There's gonna be all this stuff, but at least the NFTs as a technology seems to be adopted more broadly. So that's good to see.
100%.
Well, anyways, that wraps up another fantastic show. Remember, we go live every day, Monday through Friday. So hit that subscribe button and join us here tomorrow, every single day.
See y'all.
We out. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.